so many of us recall. Call of the wild, call of a child, call of a garden wall. Turn it around, turn it inside out. Soon others will come. Some as they wake, some by mistake, some in a chain of love. A primal longing, it's in our bones. You can't miss something that you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Ah, hearts in the world are waiting, waiting. Spirit is one, scattered before the sun, elusive space and time. End of an age, end of a cage, end of a body bound where it can't be found. We carry them along. It isn't far, it is a garden. It is where we are one. Must be home. You can't miss something you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Hearts in the world. Good morning. Everybody doing okay? We're here. We made it this far. The day's looking all right. Well, welcome to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. We are together here in covenant, not in creed. We agree on how we will treat one another and how we will attempt to be in the world, being respectful and mindful of differences. And to that end, whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here, you are always welcome in mutuality. We front load the services with a little bit of information. Oh, I'm Barbara Jarrell. I'm the minister here. I was away and I shall be away again, but it's nice to meet all of you and see your faces and have you here. We front load the services with a little bit of information because we want to get it to as many people as possible. And I have our board treasurer, Rebecca Tuggle, to share a little bit with you right now.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to see y'all, and thank you for joining us on Facebook. Our volunteer of the month this month is someone who is well known to anybody who attends this church, Ravina Windsor. And I'm sorry she can't be here today. Ravina serves as our board secretary, but she also, I like to refer to her as administrative extraordinaire because the woman comes in here weekly to help out with all the administrative stuff in the office here, which is saying a whole lot, okay? She also is the leader of the ADF. She's senior druid for the Thistle Grove group that meets here and does their rituals here. So again, congratulations to Rovina, volunteer of the month for this month. And our giveaway the plate recipient this month is Unitarian Universalists for Justice in the Middle East, which was a recently created group. And yes, they are part of All Souls, but they are made up of members from across the region, really, and across different religions, including people of the Islam faith as well as Jews, who are dedicated to peace in Palestine and helping to end this war, this god-awful war. So anything that you give that is not marked as pledge is donated to the giveaway the plate recipient, and that is going to help them in their ends. And we feel that they are a reflection of our Unitarian values, and that is one of the reasons why we chose them for giveaway the plate. So please be generous, and we thank you very much for being here.
Just a couple of things. This afternoon at 4 o'clock, we will be showing a movie, What the Health. It's a movie about veganism. And Joy Walker, Reverend Joy Walker, has been kind of heading up a Peace Alliance group looking at veganism as a spiritual practice and as a path to peace. And so you do not have to be vegan or vegetarian to come, but we just encourage you to come and listen and learn. So that is this afternoon at 4. And then next week at 3 in the afternoon is a poetry reading and book discussion of the poetry book, Things You May Find Hidden in My Ear, by the Palestinian poet Mossab Abu Toha. I have books here. They're actually outside in a bin because I've been leaving them out there for people to take out if I didn't happen to be here. I've been a little under the weather this week, and so if you do want to take one out, the bin is by the office door. You're welcome to take one. Just sign your name. It won't cost you anything. We'd love to have you participate next Sunday at 3 p.m. So please take a book if you're interested in that. And I believe that is all. Thank you. Oh, and next week, Reverend Joy will be in the pulpit. So come back.
Let us catch a couple of breaths intentionally, trying to relax the muscles in our minds and get our thoughts and feet and bodies in the same place. And enter a spirit together of worship. in all the things that cross my mind, lead me in all the things that fill my life, lead me. I don't have to understand what's closer than my skin, deeper in my spirit than the breath I'm breathing in. In all the things that cross my mind, lead me. In all the things that fill my life, lead me. Like Moses up the mountain, like Buddha neath his tree, like Mohammed at his cave, and Jesus by the sea. In all the things that cross my mind, lead me. In all the things that fill my life, lead me. Hunger that I can't describe, ache that draws me up. I reach for what's beyond my sight and pray that God is love. In all the things that cross my mind, lead me. If your way has been joyful and pleasant and easy, congratulations. And welcome. We delight in your good fortune and hope to celebrate with you. In some ways, I am told that it's a choice, and we find what we expect to and what we create. For others, I can see life throws more hurdles than we can smoothly jump. We're here together in all of our joys and concerns to be community with care and encouragement. When we're overwhelmed with the world and cannot see our way clear, when life seems a struggle between tedium and apathy or frenzy and exhaustion, may we find the courage of patience. May we recognize courage in ourselves and our companions that is not dramatic, that elicits no fanfare, that commands little notice by the world, that is forgotten and taken for granted often. May we learn how to cope like those who see the long path and may even suffer along it, and do not despair, who inspire us by their patient courage When we are impatient and afraid, may we know such courage and quietly celebrate its presence among us. Do we have anyone who would like to help with the first part of our chalice lighting this morning? Thank you, Natalie and Ava.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is a church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other.
Our chalice reminds us that the fire within ourselves is the same fire that illuminates the universe, that life force. It is our reminder that all is connected, even though the space of the void is vast. And our experience here is but a blip in the cosmic timeline. This flame is our promise that in our smallness and in our short time on this earth, that we live intently and deeply, with love for one another, with honesty and integrity, to be guided by rational thought and critical thinking, and with a sense of shared responsibility. Would you please rise in body or spirit and say the unison affirmation with us as you will? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Try and tune this a little bit better. And I have a second verse for Mighty River now. I've had a second verse before, but it wasn't this one. Hopefully this will not be one of those songs that I work on for 42 years. I do have one of those. Actually, I think it's 43 now. Mighty river of the nature of the universe carries us along. Past the rocks and rapids, you can find it and crash, or bend it back to love and move on. Mighty river of the power of the universe, irresistible song. Teaches letting go in every moment till we find all that is one. Let that old river wrap your soul with her ever-rolling rhythm. Let that old river the next chorus will be just like that one. And the new words should be on the screen. That old river wears the edges off of everything, jagged, sharp, and tongue, leaning into all her limitations enough that over time she broadens them all. Mighty river reaches every crack and crevice where worlds can fall apart, showing us the more our hearts are open, then the closer to the flow we are. Let that old river wrap your soul with her ever-rolling rhythm. Let that old river make you whole. Give her all that you can give her. Thank you. Please be seated. So let me take a quick poll. What do you think of that version?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not going to stay up here too long this morning and put you through this, but I did want to talk about, I think I had a picture up there of a little girl on a climbing wall. Anybody ever do the climbing wall at the Revel? Yeah? Yeah. So that can be kind of a hard thing, huh? Did you have trouble? Did you make it all the way up to the top the very first time? You did? All right. Good for you. I remember this as a quest for my son when he was little. He was determined to make it up that wall, and he tried, and he would get kind of scared, but then he would try again, and he would try again. And my daughter too. And finally, one day, we went back, several days, and there was this pilgrimage to the wall, and so finally they both did it. And when he got to the top and rang that bell, it was the greatest triumph. He did the hard thing. And so this past week, fast forward, 31, no, not that many years, 20-something years. He climbed Mount St. Helens this past week. So something took hold, and something, he stuck with it. He stuck with kind of the hard, scary thing. And what I want to ask you about is that can be true, too, of conversations, of things we need to say to other people, or of things we need to do in our lives to make us feel more like ourselves, to make us feel like we're more in tune with who we really are. Has anybody ever had to have a hard conversation with somebody? Yeah. Anybody put that off for a while? Yeah, because it is. It's not easy. But how'd you feel after you did it? Relief. Yeah. And I heard better. Yeah, Natalie? No? Okay. So sometimes the hard things can be the best things for us, right? When you can make yourself do the thing that you're avoiding, whatever that may be, whatever. I had a thing I put up this week that got a lot of laughs. It was about, for everybody who said I'd never amount to anything because of my procrastination, just you wait. But in all seriousness, whatever age you are, you're going to go through something like this. Maybe it's a situation with a friend that the friend is doing something that they think of as a joke and they think of as friendly, and maybe it kind of hurts. and you need to talk to your friend about that, and maybe you're afraid. But once you do that, if this is a friendship, if this is a good, solid friendship, then hopefully your friend will hear you and listen to you, and maybe whatever is going on and whoever you need to talk to, whether it's a friend, a sibling, a parent, a teacher, whatever, just kind of take a deep breath, maybe practice what you're going to say if you need to do that, but just kind of steady yourself and still your heart and know, this is what I have to do for me. And it's not always the comfortable thing, but it's going to be the good thing. If you can be honest with yourself and with others, you're going to have that peace in your heart. So let's remember that and take it with us in the week. And we are singing the children and youth out to their class. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. This first reading is from John Burroughs. In the ordinary course of nature, the great beneficent changes come slowly and silently. The noisy changes, for the most part, mean violence and disruption. The roar of storms and tornadoes, the explosions of volcanoes, speaking of Mount St. Helens, the crash of the thunder are the result of a sudden break in the equipoise of the elements. From a condition of comparative repose and silence, they become fearfully swift and audible. The still small voice is the voice of life and growth and perpetuity. In the stillness of a bright summer day, what work is being accomplished? What processes are being consummated? And this section comes from Carolyn S. Owen Tolley. See a blossom in your mind's eye. Allow it to fill the interior of your imagination. Greater perfection of form and nature cannot be imagined. With inward gaze, absorb each wondrous fluted petal. Slide down its humid surface until you drop as the dew into the velvety core. Immerse your senses in this safe chamber. Such fragile beauty. Can we just for a moment allow self to remember having such fragility? Such openness can give impulse to weep. Slowly reverse the journey as you ascend the shaft towards wider light. Turn your imagination around and around to see its many facets. Stored within is the memory of all flowers. Marvel that this creation, while utterly fragile, yet
undaunted, boldly buds forth, turning resolutely toward the sun. We, too, shimmer with expectation, exuding our own illumination and color, pulse, and scent. Vulnerable, still we venture out into our lives courageously toward hope and light, at once fragile and rooted. From the vulnerability of that open honesty, let us move to a different sort of discomfort. When the power we face is overwhelming and neither fight nor flight will save us, there may be salvation in sitting still. At least we may gain a clearer vision of where we are. By sitting still, I do not mean the paralysis of dread like that of a rabbit frozen beneath the dive of a hawk. I mean something like reverence, a respectful waiting, a deep attentiveness to forces much greater than our own. Since Copernicus, we have known better than to see the earth as the center of the universe. Since Einstein, we have learned that there is no center, no alternativity, no alternativity? I think it may be a typo. That any point is as good as any other for observing the world. I take this to be roughly what medieval theologians meant when they defined God as a circle whose circumference is nowhere and whose center is everywhere. There are no privileged locations. If you stay put, your place may become a holy center. Not because it gives you special access to the divine or what's sacred, but because in your stillness, you hear what might be heard anywhere. All there is to see can be seen from anywhere in the universe if you know how to look. And the influence of the entire universe converges on every spot. days in front of me. I can't bear to overlook losses stacking up along the lesser roads we took. Yes, I know there's plenty more, and beauty shows when that's what I go looking for. Something kind will touch my day, but that isn't true for folks I meet along the way. There's a place inside we've never been broken. The peace is still hoping we'll find. Damned if they do, cursed if they don't. Captives of patterns written in their bones. Ancient waters took that bridge. Even our best thinkers don't know what the answer is. There's a place inside we've never been broken. That peace is still hoping we'll find. It's tranquil and seamless and perfectly clear, higher than thinking and deeper than fear. There's a place inside we've never been broken. That peace is still hoping before the last word's spoken. That peace is still hoping we'll find. Here in the South, being honest was, in my personal opinion, frowned upon socially in many, many ways for generations. I'm not joking. I mean, that was the way I experienced it. Appearances and mannerisms of gentility and purity and nonchalance were the only acceptable vehicles for conversation. Being perpetually mindful not to say anything coarse or hard, unpleasant, or personally disclosing was the expectation. It took difficult lessons stretched across great spanses of time for people, especially women, or at least, that was my more immediate awareness at the time, to become more genuine, more assertive, and frankly more honest with their communications with one another, even with one's closest friends and companions. You weren't supposed to complain about anything. Or be confused for that matter. I mean, it's noteworthy that within 2 generations of developing the capacity to be honest in expression, the right to acknowledge being hurt when someone else was being honest with their expression, when hearing or receiving uncomfortable, frank communications, the right to say, that hurt my feelings, or to acknowledge that something hit you hard, began to be acknowledged. If someone spoke their truth, they suddenly had to not only take responsibility for how they felt and gathering the courage to say what was true, but they almost at the same time had to begin to learn to be mindful of how that was going to strike somebody else. Because we were learning that lots of people had experiences of abuse that made it necessary to be careful with them if we cared. That was a lot to take on at one time. We're still learning a great deal of this. Trying to become considerate and aware that the strength we find does not all rise from the same group asked a great deal. The strength that we find does not all arise from the same place. And the ground that asks us a great deal of those whose wobbly legs of self-expression were just developing, nevertheless, needed to be mindful that the wings they were spreading stirred air and dust and a lot of stuff that affected other people differently. Our 8th principle that we adopted recently that talks about being committed to the ideas of dismantling systemic racism. There are a lot of congregations across the country that still can't see the water we're swimming in and are struggling to accept those responsibilities or try to do something about it. Belonging to something that has a diverse composition takes courage. It also takes and asks us to entertain the possibility that others do not mean to be offensive, even when their words or actions may strike us that way. That we stay engaged with the conversation when it's hard, maybe take a step back and be able to express our truth that something hurt. Or accept responsibility that something we did not mean to hurt somebody else didn't feel good when they heard it. It asks us to allow for the possibility that our best intentions may still generate discomfort for other people. That's a lot to take on. We have a hard enough time managing our own feelings, don't we? Maybe you don't. I'm not seeing a lot of nodding out there. But in my experience, the best thing we have going for us is that our experiences can wear down our walls no matter how hard we try to keep them or how thick we try to make them. And that's what this song is about. I have to retune a little for you. Maybe with a lifetime comes a song that sings us from the inside. Can't be here without one. Gravity and stardust, mirrored pairs, the beauty with the horror, making sense somewhere. Over and over we stumble and we fall, thinking we'll be safer with thicker walls. Disappearing armor saves us. Didn't see it coming. One true heart that set me back to humble with her courage in such dark. Over and over I try to make it back to that kind of open, but on my own I can't. Disappearing armor saves me. Children's played upon the ground with monster voices still too loud, and I'm just trying to do what's mine to do. Time may be the prism to restore this long division, but I'm back to you, making one of two. Maybe with a lifetime comes a song, softening the edges till the walls are gone. Disappearing armor, disappearing armor, disappearing armor. From Reverend Lynn Adair Unger, who created the music that we sing the words of Rumi to in Come Come Whoever You Are, She wrote, "Surely we are safer behind some sort of a wall, protected from the grief of belonging. But all along your heart knew it was a lie. The polite fiction that you tell a child, nothing bad can happen. You're safe with me." In the early days of COVID-19, this is from Reverend, should be up there. There was a reading from her. That's it. Great. Thank you. In the early days of COVID-19, my older child started to fear venomous snakes. While walking through our neighborhood, he asked if rattlesnakes would bite him. When I assured him there were no rattlesnakes in Michigan, he asked about vipers, then cobras, then boa constrictors, then anacondas. We had read a book about snakes a few days before. He remembered all their names. I offered reassurance after reassurance. They don't live in Michigan. They don't live in Kalamazoo. They don't live in our neighborhood. They can't bite you. I won't let them. I will keep you safe. It was as though in his 4-year-old wisdom he recognized the uncertainty of everything right now by asking questions that had reassuring answers, even if they're not the real questions of the moment. When he asked about snakes, I could tell him, "Nothing bad can happen. You're safe with me." I was relieved when he asked about snakes because I can't offer nearly as much reassurance about the big bad germ. That was COVID. The name we've given COVID-19. The big bad germ is why everything was closed down and canceled, why we socialize through computer screens, and why his parents were acting so differently. Now, the herpetologists among you might know her mistake, the author's mistake. There's a rattlesnake that lives near me, the eastern Masahuaga rattlesnake. She Googled it later. While it sticks to wetlands and avoids sidewalks, my reassurances were not as true as I thought they were. When my child started talking about snakes again, I apologized for my earlier mistake. I told him that there are snakes who live nearby, but I would still do everything I can to keep him safe. It wasn't as reassuring, but it was more honest. In these days, when I don't know is the only true answer to many of my child's questions, when will the big bad germ be over? When can I see my Nana? Will I get to keep going to kindergarten? I'm grateful for a question with an answer, even if it's not the answer I want it to be. I don't know is the answer. She offers a little prayer. Sources of courage and compassion, sources of reason and radiance. In these days of so much uncertainty, may we choose honesty over comfort, love over complacency, and truth over convenience. May it be so, and may we make it so. There are a lot of things we are called to be honest about. There are a lot of things we believe to be true that we may still have a lot to learn about. And there's a lot of discomfort that can come with honesty. May we have the courage and the patience to choose honesty over comfort. Our closing hymn is I Will Not Be Afraid. It's yet another Barbara Jarrell song. Hopefully you get a reprieve from those while I'm away. I mean, during COVID-19, when we were online, and since we have become a hybrid service where there are people online who watch, we do not have licensing to share cover songs. And so we have to go through different machinations or get permission from the author, the composers of the songs, to do a lot of anything that's different. I have opted for my originals because I know we have permission for those. Perhaps a little bit more frequently. I really was not trying to get that. I am just being informative for new people here. Everything you change on a guitar changes everything else. And I'm still not going to be perfectly in tune. It takes time. Okay. The choir has done this song a lot of times for the congregation, and so you may have heard it enough that you can sing along. The words will be up here, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit and do exactly that, please. I will not be afraid, for I know my hope is justified. I know revelation still unfolds. I will not be ashamed. I will open my soul to the mystery beyond my control. The love that makes this broken world whole. There is only so far down the road a body can see. I will do what's mine and move on, speaking truth with love to powers ever greater than me. With compassion, I'll be where I belong. I will not be afraid, for I know my hope is justified. I know revelation still unfolds. I will not be ashamed. I will open my soul to the mystery beyond my control. The love that makes this broken world whole. Not afraid of the love that makes the whole world whole. Thank you all. You can be seated again for just a moment, please. Do not hesitate to leave your old ways behind. Fear, silence, submission. Only surrender to the need of the time to love, justice, and walk humbly with God of your understanding. Begin quickly, before you have time to sink back into slavery. Set out in the dark. I will send fire to warm and encourage you. I will be with you in the fire, and I will be with you in the cloud. I will give you dreams in the desert to guide you safely home to that place you have not yet seen. I am sending you into the wilderness to make a new way and to learn my ways more deeply. Some of you will be so changed by the weathers and wanderings that even your closest friends will have to learn your features as though for the first time. Some of you will not change at all. Some will be abandoned by your dearest loves and misunderstood by those who have known you since birth and feel abandoned by you. Some will find new friendship in unlikely faces and old friends as faithful and true as the pillar of flame. Sing songs as you go and hold close together. You may at times grow confused and lose your way. Like something I was listening to on the radio on the way here, never mind. Touch each other and keep telling the stories. Make maps as you go, remembering the way back from before you were born. So you will be only the first of many waves of deliverance on these desert seas. Remain true to this mystery. Pass on the whole story. Do not go backwards. I am with you now, and I am waiting with you. Go in peace. Go with courage. Stay for the congregational meeting. If you're a member, you're welcome to stay if you're not a member, but you can't vote. And I'll see you when I get back. Thank you so much, y'all. They're busy. Well, when I leave, I come back and there's spider webs that I have to walk through, and I'm not fond of those. So I'm trying to clear them for you. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Little hands reach for more in a world kindness poor. I have known you well. Broken hearts, open doors, cry to know what it's for. I have known you well. Don't look for me in hallways. I'm in and with you always, in quiet ways. Slip away hide your face. I see you in your grace. I have known you well. You're deeper than your pain, and whole beyond your name. Kinder eyes than you've used. Let me touch where you're bruised. I have